Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we are going to have a look at the Stalker's legendary effect. Now the description of the Stalker's effect is, if not in combat, plus 100% V.A.T.S accuracy at plus 50% AP cost. Now the first time I read that, and for actually quite a long time since I never actually tried anything that had that effect, I always assumed that meant it was just 100%. It augmented your hit chance to 100%, and it was the first shot was a guaranteed hit. And that's actually not how it works. Okay, so there are two parts to the Stalker's effect. One is the V.A.T.S hit chance, and the other is the not in combat part. So let's look at the V.A.T.S hit chance part first and see exactly how that works. So what I have here to start off with is just a regular old Gauss rifle, not legendary at all. So you can see we have a 20% hit chance on the super mutant's head, or the behemoth's head. And the way that Stalker's works is it takes whatever your hit chance is, and it adds 100% of that to the hit chance. Basically what it does, it doubles your hit chance. So when we do the Stalker's effect, it should actually show a 40% hit chance. So here we have a Gauss rifle. It has all the same mods, but this one is Stalker's. And you'll see now, instead of a 40% chance, or instead of a 20% chance, we're at 41%. So obviously there's some sort of fractions in there. But yeah, it doubled our hit chance. And that's how Stalker's works. It just doubles your hit chance. Now, if you want to do something even fancier, you could actually get a Stalker's weapon that has the plus 50% V.A.T.S hit chance on it, the secondary effect, and that will actually triple your hit chance. So where we started out at 20, it must have been 20 and some change, but 20%, now we're at 62%. So we took something that was a extremely low hit chance, and now we have something that's actually more than a 50-50 shot. But it will actually max out at 95%. You can't go over, no matter how close I get, V.A.T.S will not go over 95%. So this will not be a guaranteed hit. But you can see how this would be a very powerful effect, assuming it would actually work in some sort of reliable way. I mean, right now with a regular Gauss rifle, without that effect, we're at a 40% hit chance. So we went from below 50-50 to 95%. So that could be extremely powerful. However, now we have that first part, the if not in combat, to deal with. Now, the first part of the effect, if not in combat, that's the part that I'm still having trouble figuring out hard and fast rules. Now, I've got the non-legendary one here first, and if I target that Scorched, I'm at 64%. And if I target it with the V.A.T.S, with the Stalker's effect, it's at 95, that's the max. And I'll go ahead and shoot him, because now I'm in caution. So I would expect it not to work. Let's see, so that's actually working. Interesting. So this is without Stalkers, and that's with Stalkers. So it's still working while I'm in caution. And that's what's frustrating about this effect is I've tested it and with hidden and still been hidden and not seen the effect. So we have this one, and well, he's moving, so he's probably found me. So even though I'm in caution, so those ones over there I'm targeting. That's without the Stalker's effect, and that's with the Stalker's effect. So if I go ahead and shoot one of them, it looks like I'm still getting the Stalker's bonus. See, that's 40% without it, and yeah, I'm still getting the Stalker's bonus, even though I am in caution. All right, so we have a super mutant up there, up top. You can see I've got 19% without the Stalker's effect. And now he's gone. Of course. There we go. And we're getting a much higher percentage. Yeah, 33%, 20%. But yeah, so we're getting a higher percentage with... So the Stalker's effect is working. It would help if he'd stand still, but yeah. I'm not paying him, so I guess I get what I pay for. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill these two... I should have reloaded, but that was bad planning on my part. But I want to go ahead and, yeah, you could see the percentage dropped as soon as I shot that mutant hound. The percentage really dropped for that headshot on the super mutant. So it looked like, unfortunately, there's no indicator to let you know when the Stalker's effect is working. But obviously, it's not working here. I mean, I should be way over 95% that close, and I'm not. But unfortunately, you don't get any kind of indicator Nothing flashes, tells you when the Stalker's effect isn't working. So that's actually not a surprise. I mean, I shot the Hound. He was right next to the super mutant. So of course the super mutant I'd be considered in combat. But it's really frustrating because the same thing at Camden Park, I shot Scorched that were right next to other Scorched, and the Stalker's effect was still working. So it's really difficult to know, whether it's working or not, to know what the exact conditions are. I don't know. And in this case, I'm hidden. So, but let's test again. So I've got, let's see here. So that is without, that's a High Priest. I forgot the Mothman Equinox is going. Okay, so unfortunately, humans have really, really big targets. So that's a super mutant right there at 44%. And if I do the Stalker's one, it's the same percent. So the effect is actually still not working. So even though I'm hidden, I'm not in combat, the brackets aren't flashing at all. There's 33% with the Stalker's effect. And yeah, so I mean, the Stalker's effect isn't doing anything at all. And that's what's so frustrating about this effect, is it's really inconsistent. Like before, when I was in caution, so what you would think is, if it works in caution, then it would definitely work when I'm hidden. But that doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know what the rules are. Like I can't figure it out. So here we are. This is the non-Stalkers one. And you can see it's still not working. So let's go ahead and get nice and close with this guy and get rid of him and see if that changes the condition at all. Maybe he was the reason that it wasn't working. But I mean, obviously, if you're actually playing, you're not going to take your time. So that's without Stalkers. And that's with Stalkers. So just by killing that guy that wasn't anywhere near these guys, it wasn't anywhere near these enemies, that was enough to turn the effect back on. So yeah, this effect, I can't figure out what the condition are, because you can see I'm hidden. And before I was in caution at Camden Park, and it was working the whole time. So I don't know what the rules are. And that would still appear to be, okay, so I'm still getting 95%. So now it's, yeah, it looks like it's, okay, so he stopped shooting. Okay, so I'm hidden still. So where are we at? About 50% roughly. And if I do Stalkers, so in this case, I shot a super mutant that was right next to him, and so I don't know. Like I have not got this figured out at all. All right, so there is although humans always have a big, that's why I like testing on the super mutants, because they have yep, and it's not working right now. So the Stalker's effect is off. Super mutants have a small targeted, their head is a small target, so it's actually a good testing ground for the Stalker's effect, how it works. Unfortunately, the conditions are, I don't know. So when I decided to test Stalkers, I thought, depending on how it worked, it had the potential to be a very strong effect. I mean, if you take a powerful, that's the reason I decided to test with the Gauss rifle, is because it's a very strong weapon. And so if you could even get really, really big hits from even farther away, that's a great combination. Unfortunately, what I found, I mean, the Stalker's part of it, when it's actually working, it actually works very well. The problem is, when does it work? What is the not in combat? And I have not been able to figure it out because the results are so inconsistent. I mean, you saw in one case, I was in caution the entire time, and the Stalker's effect never went off. It worked the whole time. And then here at Huntersville, I was hidden for much of the time, and the Stalker's effect was working sometimes and sometimes not. And unfortunately, there's no indicator that tells you it's on or it's off. You just have to kind of figure it out, which if you're actually, playing the game and in combat, you're not going to do that. You can't do that. That's not a reasonable thing. So I wish I could shed more light on when it works and when it doesn't, but I haven't been able to get anything consistent. So this is about as far as I think I could test it. I don't really know what else to do. But I would be curious to know if other people out there, anyone watching this video, if you use Stalkers and what your experience with it has been, positive, negative. And if you found this video enjoyable or helpful at all, please hit one of the buttons down below. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.